YouTube. It's Johnny here at Pint Comics, here with Andrew Morgan. Andrew, what's going on?
What's up?
What's going on? Andrew is the host with the most of the brand new podcast, the Nomcast.
That's right.
Netflix original movies.
Yeah, we're trying to make that a thing.
I like it. I like your logo and everything. So the Nomcast, it is currently, it just got on iTunes, right?
Yep.
Or Apple Podcasts, as they call it.
Sure, yeah.
So immediately after you see this video, go check that out, subscribe. Where do you follow you on Twitter?
The podcast is at NomcastPod, and I am at Jokes on Drew.
Jokes on Drew. Okay. So you're going to do that right after you see this. But what you're here for, again, if you remember, is 88.1 FM. Here's where we do the radio show. And they get CDs from all kinds of bands. A lot of bands you've never heard of and bands with ridiculous names. And just like we did last week, we've got our top 10 for the week. Ridiculous and or weird and or just plain out shitty band names that you can find here on the archives of WESU. So Andrew, why don't you give the folks the first that you have in your stack there?
Well, I'm very excited for this band, Infant Mortality Rate, which is a real crowd pleaser around here, I would imagine, especially at the religious schools.
Yes.
They love Infant Mortality Rate.
Yeah, if you get caught with an Infant Mortality Rate CD at Xavier High School or Mercy here in Middletown, Connecticut, you're immediately just thrown out.
And both my kids are toddlers, so I think I'm graduated out of that rate.
Yeah.
So that's even better.
So if your
father... Are we bummed out yet?
Yeah, that was a good way to start out the bummer.
Yeah.
Now, if your father is, Italian and your mother is Japanese, you're going to be born half Japanese. All right? I mean, there's no other way to put it. And this is their album, Bonehead. So, and this is not too old. This is maybe from the 2000s here. Half Japanese with Bonehead. Andrew, what do you got?
I have the classic album, Beans on Toast by Beans on Toast. And of course, very popular in the Spanish markets.
Yes.
I imagine.
I would think too in England. I think
yes,
England, that's a
100%.
big thing, right? Beans on Toast.
Yeah. And it's disgusting, so I'm sure it's from England.
Yeah.
Those are my people.
England,
very awful.
Remember, folks, if you listen to Andrew, he's been on the podcast.
Yes.
We titled the podcast episode, Andrew was on, and he said himself, he's a Welsh-Irish douche.
That's it.
Yeah. So
100%.
All right, so this is something, besides just being a band, this is something you can get at your local Friendlies, if there's still a Friendlies around you, most of them are gone, or at your local Korean massage parlor. It's happy ending.
Ooh,
yeah. So if you want to throw in extra $10 in either place, you might get some whipped cream on it in either place. So there's happy ending.
Yeah, I was gonna say sprinkles on both. Yes. Are very appealing.
Yes.
Or shots. I don't know where you're from.
Jimmy's.
I don't know.
Jimmy's.
Yeah. Definitely Jimmy's.
Yeah. Oh, you
this next one is Milk Cult, which sounds probably right next to the happy ending department.
Yeah, Milk Cult.
Yeah.
Milk Cult is hard to say too for me. It's too
too rigid.
Too rigid.
Yeah.
Milk Cult.
Yeah.
Milk Cult.
I guess instead of drinking the Kool-Aid, they have 2%.
Originally, and a lot of people don't know that was Jim Jones's first option was milk.
There you go.
But he said, I want the Kool-Aid.
It's too hot here.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a poor choice.
Yeah. So sometimes a band can't come up with a name, and they come up with a poor name, Hoobastank being one that was pretty popular. And this band just came up with what I can only describe as a lame excuse for a name, because their name is actually Lame Excuse, and it's even lamer because it's not lame excuse.
It's all one word.
It's all one word. So they did that thing from like the 90s where it's, or either that or they're Lamacuse.
Yeah, it could be French.
If you guys are Lamacuse, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But if you're Lame Excuse, that's a lame excuse for a band name.
That's true. All right. This one is right up there with the cult status of Sex Mob, which, if you're gonna protest over something and riot, sex is usually it. You're very pent up.
I also feel like...
Or lack of sex mob.
I also feel like
actually more...
being in a sex mob could lead to being in a milk cult.
It could be.
Or vice versa.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
a slippery slope.
The covers almost go together.
Yeah.
They have the cartoonish type devil thing there.
And
okay.
Of course it's a ska band, it looks like.
It probably is a ska band.
Of course a ska band.
I want to throw this out there. For last week's episode, I had one band called the Swinging Utters. Swinging Utters. And okay, so Andrew's brother Jerry, who's been on the show many times, I wrote, if you know any of these bands, and again, I want you to do it. If anybody out there knows any of these bands, comment below. And Jerry commented that he's seen the Swinging Utters. I'm like, holy cow.
I think he actually has a story about the lead singer of Swinging Utters, if I remember correctly. But that's a whole other show.
We'll get him on for that.
Yeah.
All right, so this one here, let's see. It's definitely not as tough as a Rhinestone Cowboy. It's a plywood cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this is, again, this looks like a
He's
fairly...
probably the reason why Lowe's shut all those stores.
I picture a plywood cowboy being very big at Grossman's. Remember Grossman's?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I do.
Yeah,
They were very orange.
very orange.
Yeah.
They were preloads.
Pre Home Depot.
This is 2 years. This is 2016. You guys in 20 at some point before 2016, very soon before you picked the name Plywood Cowboy.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
Could have been corkboard.
It could have been.
It could have been way worse.
Yeah.
This is my last one, and I'm very excited. Cock and Swan.
Ooh.
Which, if of all the majestic birds to have near cock, I would say Cock and Swan is the swan is the way to go.
It's got some really weird glyphs too on the back for every song.
Yeah.
It's almost look at that. Check this out. Like weird glyphs for every song. I don't know if that means something. I don't know if they were trying to do the Zeppelin thing from Zeppelin 4 and have their own symbols.
That's true.
I don't think most people are ever going to remember the symbol for Inner Portal, but
yeah. And the album Secret Angles, that
Yeah.
also seems to be, because it seems to probably be a tricky thing with cocks and swans to try to fit
Well,
in.
and actually the sad part is that it was supposed to be titled Secret Angels, and it was a typo.
Yeah. You just got to go with it sometimes.
This might be my favorite, and this might be a band I've heard of before. It combines a very famous artist and the lesser-known Transformers. This is the Van Goghbots. The Vincent Van Goghbots.
Yeah.
No, it's not Vincent Van. It's just the Van Goghbots.
Yeah.
It
Music
sounds
so bad
familiar.
you chop off your ear.
Yeah, you definitely chop off your ear. This is their album Guantanamo Beach Party. So this is from 2010. So if you're looking for something to listen to, you can listen to any of these.
I actually think I would want that.
Yeah. I think we might have to get Andrew this copy. I might have to just slide it to him.
No, I'm
before
all
we
over
leave.
these.
Now, Andrew, besides the Nomcast, you're also a stand-up comedian.
I am.
And you have a couple of gigs coming up pretty
do.
soon.
Yeah.
So this will be up within a few days, probably. I'm sure
Okay.
Luke can work that out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
go ahead and let us know.
This Saturday, I'll be at 30 Mile Brewing in Old Saybrook. And February 17th, I'm killing it with the breweries. I'll actually be at the brewery here in Bristol,
Firefly Hollow.
Firefly Hollow.
Yep.
That's February 17th. That show's pretty awesome. Tickets just went on sale for that, so check it out.
All right, so check Andrew Morgan out at the Nomcast, at his shows, and also selling out tickets at Fistful of Jokes, right?
Yeah, man. We just had Pete Davidson down
Pete
at College
Davidson.
Street.
Yeah,
He's
just
a crowd
dropped
doing
in.
a pop-up show. Yeah.
Did you go to it?
I did not.
You did not.
But
Did you
I
kill?
hear it was it was a great show. It sold out. The whole thing. That's what we do.
Awesome. Fistful of Jokes, Pint of Comics, Nomcast. Check us all out.